Hey, Amanda.
Hey, Tommy.
We're on a nice vacation. We're on a desert island, taking a break from things.
The tan I'm getting in the 4-degree weather. It's fantastic.
I did actually take a trip down south, and the cold followed me. It was not pleasant.
Well, I mean, I'd love to say that I feel bad for you, but I don't.
No one ever should. But while we're away, we are lending our studio and things.
Lending the mics?
Yeah. You might remember Kyle from a few episodes.
Yeah, we've had him on our Star Wars episode. Thank God we had him on the Star Wars episode because we thought that our geek radar was high. He out-geeked us.
Yeah.
Times 1,000.
Yeah, you were the new one to the Star Wars. I was at least cognizant of some stuff, and then he was the expert all the way at the top. So
yeah.
It all worked out. But in the meantime, we have a little spin-off podcast.
Yes.
Starring Kyle and JJ, who actually has a way better radio voice than I do. So
his voice is fantastic. And they are so darn photogenic. They look so good on camera. It's very annoying.
Yeah. So we're going to introduce you guys to a new podcast called Can We Geek About? And if you like it when you hear it here, go subscribe to them on their own feed. It is Can We Geek About? So enjoy.
And follow them wherever you get your favorite podcasts.
Hey, JJ.
Hey, Kyle.
How are you today? How was your commute in?
Swimmingly.
Oh, great. Did you go by train? Did you take a car? Or did you come in a giant walking mech?
I believe we know the answer is 3.
Absolutely. Because today we're canceling the apocalypse. It's time to talk about Pacific Rim.
I love Pacific Rim.
Pacific Rim? That's not what it's called, JJ. It's Pacific Rim. Because it's a rift that opens in the Pacific Ocean. What are the monsters that come out of that rift called?
Kaiju.
Kaiju? I thought that's what I dunked my French dip sandwich in.
No, that's Aju.
Oh, man. Anyway.
Stick around to listen to us talk about Pacific Rim and steak sandwiches.
Let's geek it out on Can We Geek About?
Pacific Rim.
Pacific Rim. That's what we're talking about here. Pacific Rim.
Or Specific Rim.
Specific Rim, depending on whether or not
regional
you're one
accents.
of those people that cannot say Pacific.
It's a tough word.
Yeah. It's a specifically tough word.
All right, Mr.
Pacific.
Verbose.
The Pacific. You know, to this day, I still have to stop and think which ocean is which. So if somebody says middle of the Pacific, I go, which coast is that? Like, I still don't know. I figure it out, obviously.
I mean, the 2 things. Great thing. 1, I don't think the oceans mind if you get their name wrong. And 2, aren't there like 7 oceans?
Well, yeah, but there's
6,
there's
7
the
continents.
The America bookends there, the USA,
Oh, it's all about
you
America.
You got one and one.
It's a very American-centric viewpoint of view.
I don't think I'm not like, oh, which one is it? Is it the Pacific or the Antarctic Ocean? Is that a real ocean? I'm sorry.
It is. Well, Atlantic. We're on the Atlantic coast.
Yeah, we're on the Atlantic coast. That's what I always have to figure out. It's like, no, wait, it's Atlantic. We're Atlantic. That's Pacific.
Well, if you believe in time zones, which I don't, but if you do, there's a Pacific Northwest time zone, isn't there?
Yes. There are also Pacific Northwest hops that go into beer. And that's just a little fun, you know why? Because they probably come from the Pacific Northwest.
Anyway, Pacific Rim.
Yeah, Pacific Rim, released in 2013, directed and written by Guillermo del Toro. Co-written.
Yeah.
Who else wrote it?
Well, that would be, so I remember reading that he came up with the idea or the treatment while he was walking along the beach or...
Travis Beacham.
Well, maybe that's why I remember the beach.
Yeah. So that's actually a story by, so I guess it's Travis Beacham's story.
Yeah, he did it.
And then adapted into the screenplay.
It's like a 25-page treatment for it. And Legendary bought it.
Okay, very good. Clearly they did.
We're going to need a fact checker on that one, but I'm sure
something like that. That's
sure that was that.
I don't think that's his. But so Pacific Rim, we've got you've got the Jaegers versus the Kaiju. So the Jaegers are the giant robot mechs.
The giant robot mechas.
Yeah.
Mecha. I don't think.
Mechas?
I don't think you need to pluralize.
No, it's just mechs.
Yeah, no, mecha.
Mechs.
Is it mechs or mecha?
I think it's just mechs.
Well, I know you drew a lot from anime, and isn't that mecha? Or is
I
that
don't
mech?
know. You
Have I
tell
just
me.
been pronouncing that wrong my entire life?
Does it have an A?
Doesn't it?
I don't know. Did you? You just came in with this knowledge base, and you
Yeah,
got
but
to
this is
back
how
it
I
up.
enter
man.
every room in my life. I enter and say something very confident with
You're
nothing to back it up.
Sounds about right. We So mechasis.
It's a robai.
Mechai.
I think it's robai, yeah.
But yeah, so we've got so this was, I don't know. I mean, we went to see this 10 years ago when it came out in the theater together.
It was a great experience.
We were, living together in New York City. And I thought we enjoyed it. I think we went in and obviously at the time, it was new, it was different. I think it's just a fun ride. It's a fun concept. I think it's done well-ish. I always kind of had, I think my biggest criticism of it and just personal desire was that I feel like we could have gotten so much more out of it. And I know they did a sequel, but I feel like where they started the first story was so you just dove right in. And when you just dive right in, like I get it, it's dive. What I meant to say is they dove into the later part of the story.
No, in Act 3, they dive into the ocean.
Yeah, I understand. But what I'm saying is like this whole movie seems like Act 3 because like I want to see these monsters come for the first time and then build the first mech Jaeger suit, giant robot.
Well, yeah.
To fight it. I want to see that first thing. And they did put out, I'd read a comic book, the little graphic novel that they did that was a couple of them, and that was the prequel to the movie that kind of told that story, and it was cool. I liked it, but that's what I would have wanted to see on screen. It's like, it would be like Lord of the Rings just doing Return of the King. You just jump in and it's like, here's the final battle.
That's the one with the Hobbit and the Gollum.
Yeah. And the wizard.
Yeah.
The Grand Poobah.
What's he doing these days? No, I mean, I guess I get you, but like I feel like this story was like, right, like about grief or overcoming grief with giant robots and giant monsters surrounding that, right? And isn't his thing of like coming to terms with his...
Well, because he lost his brother.
Yeah, I almost said grandfather, but yeah, his brother.
Yeah, his brother. Words are important. No, yeah, I definitely think that. I think that's I wouldn't say that this... I feel like the robot battles and I don't feel that the story told by the people is as strong in this movie. And I think that's really where it kind of came out with. Like, it really had a very kind of, it felt like very action movie trope-esque. Like it just kind of fit the formula and they put all the right pieces into most of the parts. Like you had, Idris Elba as
the well-known DJ and rapper.
Stacker Pentecost, right? He's Marshall.
Great name. Marshall Pentecost. No, well, maybe Marshall was his...
Marshall was his son. It's Stacker, right? No, it's... Oh, man.
I was going to say that was his rank, but...
Stacker Pentecost.
Yeah. He had some great lines in that. We're canceling the apocalypse. I mean, I can't say it the way he said it because I'm not a badass, but he said it good.
We are canceling the apocalypse.
Today we are canceling the apocalypse.
He put good stuff on those words.
That was in the trailer, and that got us excited. And then that was also kind of the highlight of the movie as well throughout the whole thing.
No, that's not true.
It wasn't a taste. It was the whole snack.
Fun.
Oh, yeah, the sword thing was fun.
Because that
was cool.
I feel like that probably, that if the sword came out before this brother died, that probably would have kept his brother from dying. So
yeah, probably. They really, well, that's the other, it's, because I didn't get to rewatch the whole thing, but I do. I mean, I remember most of it pretty vividly. I think I've seen it at least twice in my life. Just that, like, it just followed that very typical, like, cocky, arrogant cowboy. So him and his brother, obviously, in the beginning, they go out against the orders to go fight a kaiju that came out and save a little boat with 3 people on it. And
I thought there were like 5, but whatever.
5 people.
Facts matter, anyway, Kyle. Words matter.
But like, and it's like, just follow orders. And it's not, there wasn't that much exposition to it. It was just like, boom, you're just, here we go, and they're going to do this. And then, oh no, the Cowboys learned their lesson. But
well, the brother said, "Don't get cocky," and then they got cocky.
And then they got cocky.
There was
Yeah,
consequences.
exactly.
That's
There was
just writing
consequences,
structure,
yeah.
Kyle.
And it's just but I just think the overall concept. So like a rift opens up in the Pacific Ocean. Clearly, right?
Yeah.
That's by the name.
If you want to get technical,
And it's like a portal.
You don't really see anything that makes
It's
it
a rift.
specifically the Pacific Ocean. Like they say it's Pacific Ocean, but they could have shot that in any ocean and then cheated it on screen.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, exactly. in the context of the story.
Yeah, in the story, yes, it is the Pacific.
It's the Pacific Ocean, and so this is where these kaiju, these giant monsters, Godzilla-esque, if you will, No,
Yeah. No, it is. But I was reading that Guillermo, he didn't want the creative team to like draw inspiration specifically.
Oh, and I definitely don't.
From Godzilla.
I think they did pretty well.
Yeah. He was like, he didn't want it to be like postmodern or something. He wanted to just be like that, to show the love and appreciation of that without like drawing from it like contextually.
Yeah, and it definitely.
I don't know what I just said.
I just meant Godzilla-esque as in
a giant monster.
A giant monster.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I read
that's what I was going for.
For the first movie, they came up with like over 100 designs for Jaegers and kaiju, and that like the design team kind of like every day or every week like just did like a
survivor.
Yeah, who are we cutting and chopping from the block or who? Awesome. Yeah. So I would have loved to see. I wonder if they use some of those designs in the comic book or the anime or the sequel.
Yeah, for sure. I can't remember too much about the comic book, but I think it's followed, because even in the movie you see that like Mark 1, which is just like the giant blockhead Jaeger, and it's like Mark 1, Mark 2, like Iron Man, Mark 1, 2, and 3. Oh, so like Gypsy Danger, the Jaeger, the main character played by Charlie Hunnam.
Yeah.
Raleigh Beckett,
belt grabber.
So that's a Mark 3. So that's why that's the whole thing, is a Mark 2 or Mark 3, I think. Because he tells him, there's the scene, it's almost like you're the only person that knows how to the character?
Yeah. His name was Mark?
Raleigh Beckett. You're talking about Charlie Hunnam?
Yeah.
Yeah. Raleigh Beckett. Raleigh, like North Carolina.
Oh.
Raleigh.
Man, I love when people, that's great. That's a great name.
And his brother's name is Riley? Hold on. Yancey. With a Y. Yeah, like Yancey Street.
Yeah. Like,
right? That's where
Ben
the
Grimm.
thing. Yeah, Benjamin Grimm. But I like the whole concept of the, two pilots have to be.
Two pilots, yeah.
They have to be synced up.
That's the bit into the drift. They got to be drift compatible.
Yeah, the drift.
You think you could do that with someone? You think you can be drift compatible with someone?
I haven't met anybody yet. I would like to see. I bet the person I'm most drift compatible with is probably you. But,
you poor bastard.
But I also think that could also be the least drift compatible person.
I think it would probably be you or like a one-legged duck or something.
Yeah.
A duck that thinks it's a cat or something.
For me, it's either you or a potato. or a very large.
I wonder, that
large potato.
That'd be interesting. I wonder. They show some test footage of the pilots learning how to figure out how to be compatible, but I wonder if they ever got like a monkey or a mouse to move a Jaeger and what that would look like. Yeah. That'd be actually really interesting. Throw a. What if we had a Pacific Rim where it was gorillas in a giant gorilla mech suit? And if you guys are listening, Pacific Rim 3, Animal Kingdom. This is right here.
The Beast Wars, if you will.
Because
we still haven't seen any giant robot animals in Transformers. No, I'm just kidding. There is, and
maybe you have. I haven't seen that.
You haven't seen Rise of the Beast?
No, I saw it. I watched it. Yeah. I was drunk. I don't remember.
I thought it was fun.
I didn't turn it off.
But I think it would be funny.
I don't remember it.
What animals? Because can animals actually sync up?
Yeah, well, that's the thing.
But that's it. It's just like the design of that whole system is that,
Yeah, I mean, that's
got these cool, sleek suits. You kind of look like, almost like they're from Tron or
whatever
very
you
will.
Gundam Wing and
Yeah.
Evangelion and that other robot thing. Power Ranger, I guess, sort of Megazord.
Power Rangers. Yeah. 100%. I didn't I did not make that connection in my head until now, but yeah.
Well, it's all
Definitely,
the Megazords and fighting giant men in
exactly.
suits.
Big suit men.
Well, I guess they weren't giant. They're normal and they were shot to look giant.
Something happens and they go, brah.
Yeah. You shoot
We
underneath.
must become big robots now. I'm a T-Rex. I always loved how the Zords are always useless on their own. They can't do
they
nothing.
never.
And then they have to, it's like, we got to call it, but we just got to combine them all. We don't have enough.
Did you say
puppeteers.
combinable? Like animal
combine.
and combine together? Combinable? That's a good word.
An accident.
That's a great word. Combinable.
I tripped over
Combine.
I tripped
Animal.
over words.
Animal. Animamine? Amamine.
Yeah.
Well, this is going to keep me up for a while. Let's get back to Pacific Rim.
Pacific Rim. Great film.
It was great soundtrack. Great
very
orchestra.
Very,
It was good. And got your heart pounding.
It got you going.
Yeah. You know what would have made it better? If Idris was allowed to do a track for the film.
He should have. I do love me some Idris.
If he had done a track for the film, are you kidding me?
Yeah, man.
I don't want to be here. I don't want to be here. I just want to live free. I don't want to live in fear. They don't want to see me in the nighttime. They don't want to see me in the nighttime. They don't want to see me in the scope side. Red light.
What is it? It's
a movie.
No, but doesn't he have a name? Like
He's a DJ and a rapper.
Yeah, but
he drops stuff. He just didn't he do a residency somewhere in London?
Yeah. I wasn't sure. I was wondering if he had a
stage name
for it.
I think his stage name is Idris Elba.
Yeah. Oh, no. DJ Big Driss.
Of course it is. Of
DJ
course
Big
it is.
Driss.
God.
Man, I salivated a little just now.
Just incredible.
That gave me... I got goosebumps. Listen to that. The apocalypse is back on, baby.
Yeah, baby.
Jeez. Anyway.
God.
I'm sweating now. TJ Big Driss. But yeah, no, his music's great. He really should have had something in there.
He really should be Bond.
He really should be. I would love that. That's what, like, Idris Elba is just one of those guys that, like, he's just awesome.
Yeah.
He's just awesome. And he had the whole, the campaigning against zombie swords and knives in...
Politically, he campaigned against
So, like,
this?
he did all this, photographs, campaigned against it, basically.
Oh, like ghost guns?
Yeah, but it's specifically zombie knives. And, like, got the government to, like, start...
What is a zombie knife? Like a ghost gun?
Like one of the... No, it's basically... Well, not like a ghost gun, like, that's what 3D printed untraceable.
Yeah.
This is specifically like those knives that, like, they usually appear, like, it's just an unnecessary knife. But, like, they're very popular and used by a lot of people.
Well,
and, like, kids are killing each other.
Every knife is useless.
Yeah, exactly. So,
What do you mean unnecessary? Oh, like it's just like extremely violent.
It's causing a lot of violence between children, especially, and like gang stuff. So they're trying to outlaw them, and that's what he was campaigning against.
Gotcha.
So like, cool. On top of being an awesome actor, a hell of a DJ. DJ Big Driss is getting things done, making things happen. Shout out to Big Driss.
He's pouring milk into our cereals.
Yeah, he is, and I'm eating it, big spoon and all. But but other than that, like, I mean, in The Office, like, his little character,
that's right. He was in The Office. He's like, I understand my effect I have on females.
Yeah, Charles Minor. Charles.
I am aware.
I'm aware of the effect that I have on women. But no, I just said that. He's like, comes in, plays this really awesome character.
Yeah.
It's just hilarious.
He's got like the best lines.
Yeah.
He's like, 1, don't ever touch me. 2, don't ever touch me. And then he says something else, but I'm already swooning at that point. I don't know what he's saying.
Don't ever touch me. So he's in this. That hell of a mustache too, I gotta say.
You think that was natural?
I think it was natural.
God,
I mean, it was
so
probably
envious.
touched up by a professional, but
So envious of that. Yeah, I mean, it's great soundtrack, great orchestra. Some of the conflict, well, that's what I was saying earlier, is that like they ended up like cutting like an hour, or like I read something like they had a lot of edit. They cut down like the human aspect, the human arcs,
like the human stories and stuff.
Yeah. To make,
because they definitely seem rushed.
He's like, this isn't Ibsen. We're, he's like, we kept the bare bones to make everything kind of work, which I mean, it does. I mean,
Yeah, like I think the storytelling in it is pretty firm. Like it's follows a cadence. Like it gets in there, gets it done. It sets up the action scenes very well.
Mm-hmm.
That's something that's just like I think is done pretty well, and I'm sure everybody disagrees with me in the world. But like in the Godzilla, King Kong movies, I guess less so Kong Skull Island because that's very adventure-y. You're on.
That's
like
the
it's less
Tom
so
Hiddleston one.
Yes,
Yeah.
Tom Hiddleston, Brie Larson, John Goodman.
Candy. John Goodman.
John Goodman, yeah. But I thought basically not including Kong Skull Island because it is more of an adventure through a strange land. The Godzilla and all the Godzilla Kong, King of the Monsters, I think it did a pretty good job of like, this is a horrible event, but we're telling the story of the people around it.
Mm-hmm.
Like it balances pretty well. Like the first Godzilla definitely, I think did it well with, where it was more about the story of these people trying to get back to each other and survive while Godzilla and these giant Mutos, massive unidentified terrestrial organism or something.
Yeah.
I think. But that's what I kind of think. This one kind of shifted it. It had more of the obviously because the story is about the end game result of we have to get these monsters and blow this rift up.
I did enjoy that they tried to build a giant wall.
Yeah, it was really funny. And then within the first 15 minutes, they're there building the wall because that's now after Charlie Hunnam's character.
Well,
his brother dies,
but he does a big thing. He's able to pilot the Jaeger by himself, which there's only been one other person to have done that, and his name is DJ Big Driss. Yeah.
He's the only other one that was able to do that?
I believe so. I believe that was.
Yeah, I think that's. But then.
A lot of commonality.
So Charlie Hunnam's character's here building the wall. He's helping build the wall to keep these kaiju out. Then they watch footage on the TV of just
the kaiju just breaking it through. Down. Yeah.
It's like, oh, yeah, we couldn't figure out how to.
I mean, that's job security.
Yeah, for sure.
Like, well, we got to go back out there and build that part again. Where's my money?
Yeah.
I wonder whoever got that contract, they're good. They're golden.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, they're doing just fine.
Yeah. Their kids are going to eat well.
Yeah. The insurance, though, probably through the roof.
Yeah. I don't believe in insurance, so it's fine.
That was the thing, too. It was cool to see. It's always cool to see, like, actors, and pop up and stuff like for this. I noticed that actually, so there are two people from The Office in that film, at least two. I don't know if other people popped in that I'm not thinking of. The guy who's saying like, at like the wall building thing, like the workers,
mm-hmm.
He's like, I got good news and bad news. He was actually, he had since passed away, but that actor was the one that was in The Office and Orange is the New Black. Orange is the New Black, he played the security guard that was like super violent and ended up getting like arrested. I forget his name in that, but in The Office he played Frank who like drew a butt on Pam's painting on her mural, like drew butts on her murals, and then she drew Frank pooping on his truck. And yeah. And then he goes to attack her, and then the sound guy hits him with the microphone and fights him.
Oh, right. The end.
Frank and
the last season.
So he was that. I was like, oh, cool, it's that guy. So shout out to that guy.
Trace Thomas. That guy. Sound guy was the Trace Thomas guy in Silicon Valley.
Yeah, Chris Diamantopoulos.
Man, you are so good with names.
Yeah, I know, man. Well, he was Mo in the Three Stooges movie.
That guy
he played Mo. Yeah.
The sound guy?
Yeah, the sound guy from The Office.
Was in a. They
Was
made
in
a
the
Three
the Three
Stooges
Stooges movie where Will Sasso was Curly. This guy was Mo, and then Sean Hayes was
When
Larry.
did this movie come out?
I feel like it was definitely between 2010 and 2020. So it's probably like 2013, 14. Around
that was
same
the
time
year
as
that
this.
Pacific Rim came out.
Yeah, so maybe
That
they're
guy
just
had a
both.
good year.
Yeah. Well, this is a different guy. He's not the sound guy. He's the. In this movie, it was the guy who was attacked by the sound guy. So yeah, that was a little cool thing. Yeah, so we got the Jaegers, we got the kaiju. What's your favorite? What's your favorite Jaeger?
Well,
What we got? We got Gypsy Danger.
we got Gypsy Danger.
Gypsy Danger is the Mark III. It's analog, baby.
It's analog, baby.
It's analog.
We got the Russian Doombot. You know what
Striker Eureka
Oh yeah.
was the one for the Australian guys.
Yeah.
Those guys are cool too.
Which I think my favorite was the one we saw. My favorite was Gypsy, but my second favorite was the 3-armed one.
Yeah,
Because every time you saw those pilots, they were always playing basketball.
Yeah,
And
they were.
even when they're not playing basketball, one of them is holding a basketball. Go back, watch the film. I promise you, there's always a basketball near those three.
That's pretty cool.
And I will also say, when Stryker Pentecost is right, did I get the name right?
Yes,
I'll take it. Is giving us the exposition.
Stacker Pentecost
is giving us the exposition.
Striker Eureka.
Aaron Sorkin walk and talk with Charlie Hunnam and showing him all the Jaegers. I love that he's like, yeah, and they're using this technique. And then Charlie Hunnam's like, oh yeah, the 3-arm technique. Like, he introduces it like it's such an obscure thing, but then he's like, but the way Charlie Hunnam says, oh yeah, the 3-arm technique. Like, yeah, I've heard of that. Everyone does that. It's such a common thing. It was just, I find that funny because
the three person.
That's 3 people in a drift. Like, that's a lot of people in a drift, I would imagine.
They were like twin brothers.
Because they make it so
triplets?
like 2 people is like such, like it's so hard to do 2 people. And here these people are doing 3. That's crazy.
Crimson Typhoon.
That was the name of that one?
3.
That makes sense. It was red.
3-armed one. And then there's Cherno Alpha was the Russian one. The kaijus, we've got, I think the kaijus are harder to figure out, but Leatherback was one of them. I think he might have been like the big one at the end.
Leatherback. That sounds like an alligator. Or maybe I'm just thinking of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Yeah, Leatherface. Leatherface? No.
Yeah, I think Leatherface, right?
Leatherback? It may have been Leatherback.
That sounds a little sexual.
Because Leatherface is the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, right?
I think they're both leather something.
Yeah, well,
Leatherhead.
Leatherhead. There it is. Nailed it. Yeah, the kaijus are all cool. They got, the knife head is the one that was very named after the knife that was on its head.
Oh, is that
the unicorn? Never. The giant unicorn. That's the one that they fight at the start.
Oh, yeah.
That's the one that they kill boat. And that
it kills him.
It kills
the brother.
The brother.
Yancey.
Yancey goes down.
Yancey was also the brother of Fry in Futurama.
The name?
Not played by the same character, by the same actor.
Well, we love,
but it was the same name.
I like that actor's always like the guy in the thing. You know what I mean? He was so his name, Diego Klattenhoff.
That's who played Yancey?
That was Yancey. And we had him, he was in the Blacklist. I think in the Blacklist, he's like the agent in the he's the one going out and doing the action stuff instead of James Spader. Another Office thing, but that's with the Blacklist. Blacklist is a good, it's a fun show. I haven't watched it all.
CBS Thursdays 9 p.m.
Anyway, we also in Homeland. Homeland, he was the guy's best friend that was also sleeping with his wife.
So that kind of like us.
I don't even have a retort for that. Anyway, but then Charlie Hunnam, you've seen Sons of Anarchy?
I've dabbled. I've
dabbled.
tasted.
Yeah, I didn't finish it, but it was a lot of fun, and I definitely think like I can't lie and say I have any interest in watching the Mayans, and it's just because I think that Sons of Anarchy, Sons of Anarchy, as it's called if you say it correctly, it's similar to like shows like Succession, like it's heavy, or like Ozark. You know, sometimes it just gets violent to the point where you're just like, I need a break. Like I need to watch it.
Was Succession?
I need to watch a shampoo commercial or something right now, or like, you know, I want to wonder what the Pillsbury Doughboy's doing right now because I need something soft and easy. It's a break. You understand?
Yeah, I get it.
I need to walk around a mattress store. So that's why I think it's very much like it's a lot. Like I never finished Ozark either, just because it got to a point where
but that thing's
was a lot.
Isn't that
you
like
know?
fully repaired now?
What?
Ozark.
The Ozark?
Yeah.
The movie?
Like, isn't it?
What are we
fixed?
talking about? No. What are you talking? What was broken?
Ozark. It was protecting us from radiation.
That's the ozone.
Oh,
Ozone. Yeah, but I'm just saying, heavy stuff like that was, you know. So anyway, Sons of Anarchy was good.
you know, well
done,
speaking of Sons of Anarchy,
Charlie Hunnam.
you know who else was in this from Sons of Anarchy? Gold Boots Perlman.
Gold Boots Perlman.
Yeah,
Ron Perlman is.
Yeah, he's in
I
this.
forgot he's in it. What is he
Yeah,
doing?
he's running the black market, which I thought
Hannibal Chow.
would have been a very he's got gold plated on his shoes. I would have loved to see more of the black market. You know, like they're harvesting all these, like all the different parts of the kaiju.
Yeah,
and you see the guys just kind of taking different parts and like blood and this and that. And like, I want to see who's buying because there's one point where there's like a little giant lice bug or something.
Yeah.
And they're just taking that and putting it alive into the thing. I want to know who's buying that stuff. Like that's a whole, like watching
That's
the
a whole
underbelly.
thing, yeah.
That's a whole,
So
like,
I'm saying is this is
someone's
like-
doing, like, I bet someone's using something as an aphrodisiac.
Oh
you know?
yeah.
Like, I want to see the
That's
nitty
why,
gritty
like,
there.
Honestly, I'd love a Pacific Rim TV series. Like, give me like a mini series.
A little Law and Order,
yeah,
Pacific Rim.
yeah. I mean that show, the Monarch show, Godzilla.
Oh yeah, I haven't seen
That
it yet.
worked. I watched it. I thought it was great, and I think it makes it, you know, because you have more of an opportunity to explore little things like that, like the black market. You can have a whole episode where it goes into details and things, and you're trying to trace somebody that has something going on. And
Let's do The Wire.
Yeah.
But Pacific
the
Rim.
Wire Pacific Rim. That would be, there's a good Idris Elba mention too. There.
Oh, yeah.
That's a hell of a show too.
Man, that guy is nothing but
yeah.
fire.
I can use this as a platform to say that Amanda from Can We Talk About and my
I know
brother
Amanda.
were the people that they were like, Kyle, you have to watch The Wire. It's the best show ever. And I go and I watch it. I watch all 5 seasons and I go to talk to them about it. And they're like, oh, we only watched up to season 3. I'm like, what are you doing, man? You can't tell me his TV series is the best. And
Now,
then,
did you find The Wire to be heavy? Did you have to go to the mattress store at any point during The Wire?
no, I feel like it was presented, but definitely, no, it definitely is heavy. I just think it like, you're also have more of a, because you spend also time with like the cops trying to solve this, you have more of a, like in Ozark and Succession, you're just with negative stuff. You don't really have any heroes to latch onto. I feel like is what these show, like even Breaking Bad, you know what I mean? Like when even the hero or the main character is still not a hero, you know, then you don't really have that safety blanket of, okay, cool. Like at least somebody's coming to save us, you know, somebody's going to do the right thing at some point. So like that's what I feel like.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I gotcha.
So like for The Wire, you kind of had this safety blanket of the detectives who are trying to solve this, or like, you know, the task force. And so like it was the struggle of both sides, and obviously some of it. If we're gonna get into The Wire now, there's a lot on both sides going on, but I feel like there's a little more comfort in a more classic crime show like that, where you're also have an insight into the police department and how they're trying to help. So no, I didn't have to walk to the mattress store after that.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I walk through, listen to the
Thank you,
Lonely Man theme and walk down the street.
Bum out like the Hulk.
Yeah.
Yeah. So then you remember the first flying kaiju?
No.
That's where they used the sword.
Yeah. That's where they used the sword?
Yeah.
That's cool. I did forget about that. I forgot that one flew.
Just the one.
Because there's that's during like that final battle.
No, not that wasn't the final battle. The final battle is underground or in the water.
In the water, yeah.
Oh, the battle. You know what made me think? The battle with the flying one was when Gypsy Danger picks up a full it
was like a
tanker ship, and it stays solid. Like that's good American craftsmanship. That thing stays fully intact while he's
American
dragging
craftsmanship though, or is it
the ship?
Yeah. Aren't they in Hong Kong, or do they travel to?
I mean, ships are like geese.
I mean,
they can be born anywhere,
man. Anywhere. Yeah.
Like
they all migrated south for the.
I guess I just assumed it was American craftsmanship because it's like it takes place in the same universe as the Titanic.
Yeah, it's true. It does. There's no actual mention of the Titanic, but they don't say that the Titanic never happened.
Right. And that's why he uses
clearly,
that freighter
the most important,
to beat the crap out of this alien.
And it didn't even split down. Did it split down the middle eventually after a few
hits?
I think. Yeah.
But he uses that to take vengeance.
So what if it wasn't an
kaiju
iceberg?
Killed the that's
Titanic?
What I was thinking, man.
Yeah, man. We're really getting to the bottom of things.
That was a level 1 kaiju, a level half 5.
Nobody talks about.
Yeah,
for good reason, probably.
Yeah, there's a lot of things I talk about that no one talks about for good reason. But do you remember the ending? Like they get their first stage 5 or category 5.
Category 5 kaiju and then comes through.
What was good though was that you had the Australian couple.
Yeah. Or father and son.
Yeah, the Australian couple.
Father and duo.
Yeah, the Australian duo. And then you had Pentecostal and his adopted daughter. And they did the reverse. They send the son and of the Aussie couple, the son goes, and of the Pentecostal couple, the father goes.
Yeah,
like so
Pentecost,
because it's a suicide mission, right?
Basically,
so you got you have both.
Well, because
a child and a father staying, and a child and a father going.
The Australians are Max Martini as Herc Hansen, and his son Chuck Hansen, played by Robert Kaczynski.
That man's name is Max Martini?
Max Martini.
That's
Max
fantastic.
Martini is a great name.
Yeah.
And he's the guy, he's like the guy that's in every like military.
Oh, yeah.
Like he's that guy from that thing, you know?
Yeah.
And he's always he always like kills the character he's doing, whatever he is, just like nailing it.
I'd love to be saved by him.
The guy that he's got that machismo, man. He's got that like roll down. So he just always hits the ground running. Like what else is
he doesn't drink soy milk.
Yeah, he's in 13 Hours. The Secret Soldiers of Benghazi. But yeah, he's been in I think he's the thing I'm just watching him is Bosch Legacy.
That's good for you.
Yeah. Well, that's it's a cop show.
Yeah, with that guy.
With the guy,
He plays Bosch.
Yeah, Titus Welliver. But like this guy was like a bad cop in it, you know?
I can see that. Yeah.
There he is. He's there again. And I'm terrified.
Yeah, I get that.
But and then the son, so Robert Kaczynski, the actor, Chuck Hansen, who's at the end.
He says goodbye to the dog.
He says goodbye to the dog.
Yeah, but they go.
But he was in. He's popped up in a couple things, but he definitely. I watched a show with him in it called Second Chance. I think it was called. So he basically was an older cop who was murdered, but they were able to transport his like brain, or like basically his person, like they were able to save him in it, like his brain into a younger version of himself, or like a younger body. I think it was actually the younger version of himself. So basically he gets like killed by somebody, and then he goes back. No, then he comes back and is the younger version of him. Like, so like he plays like the younger version. Him? No, because it like goes from an old man, so that's a different actor. And then now he's a younger self. And it was, I think it was only one season.
How old was the guy when he died? Like 70?
Like 90, probably.
Why was he still on the force?
He wasn't on the force. He got killed in his home. So he's like retired. So now he's like, he's like a 90-year-old in a really, really ripped 35-year-old's body.
So they bring a dementia-riddled brain and put it in a body that can do damage?
I don't think that's worked out.
Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. So he's basically just Wolverine.
This sounds fantastic.
Yeah. It was a pretty decent show, actually.
You could do so many things with that.
Second Chance. Check it out.
Well, anyway.
So those are that's the Australian couple.
Yeah, the Australian couple.
But what happens so Herc Hansen, the dad, he gets hurt, right?
He gets hurt. He gets his arm hurt. He gets hurt because he gets hurt in the battle with the EMP, which is why Gypsy Danger has to go join, because originally Gypsy with his partner Mariko, Pentecostal's like Miko Mori was his adopted daughter.
Yeah,
and
Stacker Pentecost.
Yeah, and they drifted well, but they weren't ready yet. They weren't ready for battle until they found themselves until they found the heart of the cards and went for it. And then the EMP blast, and they're like, well, everyone's electronic except for this gypsy robot that's analog, which I still don't. Maybe I just don't.
Analog.
Maybe I don't know what the meaning of analog is, or I don't know. But every time I've put a lot of thought into this, and now I think that Gypsy Danger's insides are like that of a grandfather clock.
Yeah, that would be my assumption of just the difference, even though there's obviously tech going on inside.
Well, no, here's why I think this.
Okay.
Hellboy 2.
The Golden Army.
The final fight, they fight on all these gears that look like the inside of a giant clock.
It's true.
So I think Hellboy 2 happens inside of Gypsy Danger.
This is world building.
Yeah.
That's what we're all about, man. World building.
That's just that's my 2 cents.
Yeah.
But anyway, GPS happens. No, EMP happens.
Yeah.
So Gypsy Danger.
So the GPS is off.
Yeah. So GPS
and
is
they're
off.
lost.
Nobody knows what's going on. But the Aussie couple comes out of their head, and he's like, there are people there. We're going to save them. And they bring the flare guns and they shoot them in the giant monster's eyes. Pew, pew.
Oh, wow.
One of them, only one of them goes in, man. And then the monster's about to eat them, because that makes sense narratively. Like, your flare gun is going to do nothing to something that can even be beaten by a giant robot. And then Gypsy Danger comes in right into the ocean.
Bam.
And then they fight or something. But that's, why'd we talk about
good
this?
Television, man.
So the end.
Well, he gets hurt.
Yeah, that's when he gets hurt. And that's why he can't do it.
So he can't do it. Then now Stacker Pentecost
is going to show up to the game. Yeah. So he leaves his daughter behind, and the kid leaves his dad behind, and the dog.
For the
suicide mission. So there's a narrative there. There's a narrative everywhere, I guess.
Yeah.
That's the definition of narrative. But like there's a duality, I don't know, man. You're the one who's supposed to go parallel. You're the word guy. I'm the sit guy.
I zoned out for a second there. I apologize. I was just thinking of DJ Big Driss.
Oh man. There's a track I listened to.
Apocalypse.
There's a track I listened to. I forget the name of it, but Idris got some sick lines on it.
We had a good one on that the Fast and Furious.
Oh, that's right. He says he's Black Superman.
Hobbs and Shaw.
Yeah. He takes the Rock's punch like it's nothing.
He does. That's not real life. That's how you know movie magic, man. That man would have died. The Rock punches
I felt
you.
The blast.
The Rock punches you.
That man lifted up a submarine missile. Didn't he Didn't he punch a submarine missile in Fast and Furious 9?
He's got like superpowers. right? That's the whole point.
The Rock?
Big Driss.
Oh, yeah.
Big
No, he's
Driss
got like a
and,
suit. He's got
Hobbs and Shaw.
Yeah.
But no, he's also like,
He's got
like implants and shit.
Yeah, yeah.
He's got the juice.
He's like Drago, Rocky 4 right there. Maybe, I don't know. Anyway, so yeah, that duality at the end is kind of...
Yeah, the parallel.
Yeah. I keep saying duality and I mean parallel. So
yeah.
That's a
and then
12 plus year friendship.
So the flying one, and then there's a sword. The sword comes out of
which,
there.
Again, would have been helpful.
Yeah, exactly. Earlier.
Right.
You never think though, it's always hindsight 2020, especially when you're a mech fighting a kaiju, as you're never fully prepared.
No.
I mean, you'd think you would be because you're in a multi-billion-dollar piece of machinery.
Well, yeah, it's got to be a lot of
training's got to be pretty intense for that.
I don't,
so I did let's talk about other people in it. The Charlie Day, the two scientists, the research department.
Yeah. I love that.
I like a good, and that's another guy. Because Charlie Day does great, obviously. And he plays this part of this enthusiast who loves the scientific idea behind the kaiju.
Yeah. Well, that was the best. That was the kind of the best plot line of the sequel is that Charlie's infatuation and drifting with the kaiju kind of leads to less than desirable results. I won't spoil it for you, but
exactly
they further along that development.
For the second one?
Yeah, for the sequel.
Okay. I got to check it out. But the other scientist is...
Yeah, he's great too in that.
The other actor?
Yeah.
So it's Gottlieb
Yeah.
is the character's name, but the actor's name is Bern Gorman. Do you remember what else he's in? You remember what else he's in?
He's in an episode of Always Sunny in Philadelphia. The episode where Charlie, the Flowers of Algernon episode.
Is that real?
Yeah.
Okay. I didn't know that. So they appeared in that Always Sunny together?
What? Who?
Bern Gorman.
Who's that?
The guy, Gottlieb. The other scientist.
Yeah, the other scientist. Yeah, he's in the second. He's in an episode of Always Sunny.
Okay, cool. Well, I'll be able to see that when I
The Flowers of Algernon.
Okay.
Or the Charlie's Algernon. Or Algernon Flower. I don't know the name
guy
of it.
Gets flower. Yeah.
It's the duality of
Well, you
that.
know what else what other big show he was in?
Rome?
No, Game of Thrones. Remember he was, God, if I can remember this character's name, it'd be awesome. But he was basically the guy in the north of the wall that took over.
The Night King?
No, but he was
King
like
baby.
the defector. You remember everybody turned on big bear guy, the leader of the Night's Watch, the big bearded guy, J.R. Mormont.
Oh, yeah.
So they turned on him and killed him.
Yeah.
So the people who defected, he was the head of the bad Night's Watch people.
Oh, I thought that was an older
And then
dude.
they went to...
Didn't he have a harem or something?
But he has all the daughters it's his daughters.
That's what
his
I'm
daughters.
thinking of.
Daughters.
That's
So
one
he's
thing. I was like, this guy's
they're the
too
people
young
who
to
go
play
take
that
over
character.
that guy.
I
kill
gotcha.
him and take over his farm and his daughters. And he's the evil guy.
Oh.
Yeah. Jon Snow kills him eventually or something.
If you're out there, we'd love to have you on the show.
Yeah. Come and join us.
Yeah, call in.
Carl. His literal name was Carl Tanner in Game of Thrones.
Game of Thrones, a man was named Carl Tanner?
Carl Tanner.
I don't believe that for 1 second. That is a lie. No, that's incorrect. I don't believe that.
Full House.
That Carl Tanner?
Yeah, Carl Tanner. Danny Tanner's long lost cousin.
You got names Targaryen, and this man is Tanner?
His name's Tanner. His name's Carl Tanner.
No.
Excellent. This is great. We're really...
Come on,
We're really
George R. R.
breaking
Martin.
down... We're breaking down...
boundaries, barriers.
Yeah, they're not even... We're getting to the nitty gritty of this story.
Well, anyway, both of them drift with the kaiju, and then they learn that the big plan at the end, the big Independence Day plan isn't going to work. So they got to rush back while
so that's why
they're dropped under the ocean.
Yeah, because they... All right, that's the end, is that they just take the nuke through
they don't
the other
take
side?
They don't take the nuke, because the nuke, Idris Elba had to nuke themselves to take out the big...
Yeah.
Which, let me ask you something. So when that nuke goes off, right?
Yeah.
It obviously is explosive and it pushes all of the water out, all gazillion tons of the water, and we're living in fresh air for brief seconds, right? That's a cool shot. Like he pushes out all the water.
Yeah.
And then the water you see, because some of the fish is flopping down, and then like you're just on land without water. And then all the water slow, like it's rushing back. And it's like, do you think you could survive that?
No, I definitely need a big
Do you think
giant-
you would try it though?
Need.
Like I would
No.
want to try it just the one time, just to see what.
One time.
Would I get completely? Would I be disintegrated, or would my consciousness just be strong enough and will myself through that?
I feel like it's
Like how many squats do
you
you
ever
have to do
stub
to
your
survive
toe?
that?
I feel like it's like if you stub your toe, without like not even a sock on.
No
But
protection,
it's probably
raw
like
dog.
that, but like everywhere, like your entire body. But that severe of pain, every synapse, just a giant toe stub. Also, you're a pancake and you're dead.
Well, if you have a knife in your
But
arm,
for
you
one
just
brief
knife the
second. Yeah.
for one brief
If you
glorious.
punch really hard at the water as it's coming at you.
That's what I'm thinking. Every action has an
Yeah.
opposite but equal reaction. That's just physics or science.
What
or
you want to
something.
do is if you're in the middle
Yeah.
and this water separates, and the water's coming back in, what you want to do before that water comes back in is you want to run towards one side of the water
Yeah.
while it's coming in, and then reverse so that this water hits you and sweeps you up.
Yeah,
You want to run with the water.
Right.
You can't run at the water. You have to go with it.
It's
you
like
have to run and you have to match the water. That way it just hits you as you're running.
Right.
Less speed.
Mhm.
That way it picks you up. And then hopefully the water breaks the other water. It doesn't.
That's how John Dillinger
Thunderclap you.
that's how John Dillinger survived his jumping out of a plane.
D.B. Cooper, you mean?
Yeah, that guy.
D.B. Cooper.
What'd I say?
John Dillinger.
Who's that?
I don't know.
Why is that name in my head?
He was a gangster.
Oh, all right.
Played by Johnny Depp.
Yeah, so it wasn't that. I wasn't
the odds
thinking
you
about
have
that guy.
are pretty high. So
Yeah, but no. So
any gangster's been played by Johnny Depp.
I mean, yes. One, I'd like to try it, and two,
Yeah.
they don't have the nuke anymore. So Gypsy Danger, because that son of a gun is analog. They got a nuclear reactor.
Okay.
So they are the nuke because they used the payload on the other kaiju. That was the big sacrifice between the Aussie duo's lover
Yeah.
and the dad, or what Pentecostals.
Stacker Pentecost.
Yeah.
And Chuck Hansen.
Yeah. The guy that did Dateline,
Second Chance. What? What's that?
wasn't that the guy that caught To Catch a Predator?
I don't think so.
Are you sure? You can look that up because
Chuck
I think
Hansen?
I'm right. I think it's Chuck Hansen.
No. It's
He was catching predators, which, here you go, caught Tobias Funk,
Chris Hansen.
Chris Hansen.
We're really close.
Well, here we go. Still watch my connection. Watch this. You're going to be like, wow, good job. This guy, what's his name? Chuck Hansen?
Chuck Hansen.
Caught predators with Chris Hansen. Chris Hansen caught predators on Arrested Development. Caught Tobias Bluth, who played the Thing in Fantastic Four, the film in Arrested Development, whose name is Ben Grimm, who grew up on Yancey Street.
Oh man.
Did you see the duality in that? I mean, parallel.
Tobias played the Thing on Arrested Development.
Tobias, David Cross.
Yeah. What did he-
in one of the
One of the episodes.
yeah, he was cast or thought he was cast in a Fantastic Four film
Oh, okay.
as Ben Grimm.
I don't know if I've ever finished that. I might have missed the last season. I can't
I
remember.
think this was when it was still on Fox. I think this was,
Man, I used to remember things.
says the guy who drops names like it's
Yeah.
fucking Crippin' Tuesday.
Shit.
But anyway, so he
Yeah.
you gotta
So tell us what happened. Yeah.
they're
They're analog.
They can't
They
go
have a
through
nu-
the breach unless
Nuclear reactor.
the breach has
Yeah.
DNA of the kaiju. So
Okay.
I thought they were just going to cover themselves in kaiju
Yeah.
blood, but no,
Like
he
a
just sort of
tauntaun.
jumps in holding
With
a
the-
kaiju,
Oh, yeah.
and they go in
No.
and they go
Total John McClane move.
Yeah.
Just jump in with him.
And then you see the aliens.
Yeah.
And the aliens stare. And it's kind of like Independence Day when Jeff Goldblum and Wayne Smith look at Will Smith.
Yeah.
Look at the alien and they're like, ah.
Yeah.
And the alien's like, "Arr?" And then in this Independent or
there's like there's little guys.
And then they and then the big boom. Did you know that Guillermo del Toro had brought in or like designed Gypsy Danger's walk off John Wayne?
Oh, for real?
Yeah. Like
That's
his
really
gait
cool.
was kind of like gunslingery like John Wayne.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. It's pretty cool when they throw layers to that. It's not just
robot
make
walk.
the robot walk.
Yeah.
Did Charlie Hunnam die at the end? Did they come back through it?
No, he the escape
so
pod.
they like escape pods. They
She
both
got
had,
sent first, and then he got sent.
but he made it too.
Yeah, and then they build the tension. They're like, we're not getting a reading, no life form reading,
Okay.
and then
That's what I forgot.
she opens it, and
so
then
it's Reverse Avengers.
yeah, no, it's the same. Yeah, well, Reverse Avengers is the same thing
from water versus space.
water versus space,
With
but
the
yeah,
Iron Man at the end.
Yeah,
And
the
they
Iron-
go
yeah,
get
yeah.
shawarma.
but there is no Hulk that wakes Charlie Hunnam up. It's just his business partner that he drifts with.
So yeah, Pacific Rim.
Oh, yeah, that's how it ends.
And then they survived Reverse Avengers.
Right, and then they like put their heads together, like, hey,
Yeah.
we made it, and
we made it.
it's never implied, or it's is it platonic or just friends, or is it more? I kind of dig the brother sister vibe.
But so I definitely hate Guillermo. Let's see some more of this stuff.
Yeah,
Bring it on.
I love everything that man does. You kidding me?
He's so Oh yeah. Jeez. I mean, didn't even talk about him, but like that, and that's what's super cool. Is like this isn't his traditional thing. He's very much more fantasy, creature design, things like that.
Well,
but it's also usually
he did the
more.
Pinocchio. Did you see the Pinocchio? It was great.
I did not. I
great.
did not.
Worth
but
it.
I've heard. Yeah.
He did the Curiosity Cabinet.
Yeah.
That's
like
great too.
I guess it's the technology and
He did
that aspect of it that I feel like is outside of his normal
I
criteria.
I've never liked
he's
that
kind
that
of
concept that like one person and like you're like an artist is only good at one type of like. I feel like they're stronger in other areas than others, but like let the man cook.
Oh yeah, I'm totally for that. And I would like to see, especially when you see like a director given a shot at a big film when they've only really worked on smaller things, but just because like they were successful with smaller things that they got this opportunity. Like I'm not for nothing, like not to keep on this subject, but the people who started the VHS movies, those anthology horror film guys. So like the main guys who were like putting them together and filming a lot of them, or like were at least part of like one segment of it. They are the one guy, I forget his name. Look it up because we're going to do a Godzilla episode eventually, obviously. But he that guy is he did Godzilla versus Kong, and he's doing the new Godzilla versus Kong. So
not
Adam
Wingard?
Wingard, yeah, Adam Wingard. That's his name. I can't believe we look at. That's why we make a good team.
I'm out here.
You got the last name too. You got the last name.
Buckets.
I'm over here calling John Boyega Daniel.
Yeah.
David.
Chuck Hansen.
But yeah. Good job, Guillermo.
Yeah, he's great.
Guillermo del Toro. Keep going. Keep following your dreams. I really hope you find what you're looking for.
I do too. I hope he's happy everywhere.
So let's see some more of this.
Yeah. Let's wrap this song going.
Let's wrap this song. Let's drop this nuclear reactor and shoot out of here in an escape pod.
I would give Pacific Rim 7 analogs out of 8.
I think I'd say 7.5 out of 10, just because I would have liked.
We can't do two different scales.
Okay, so then I say 6.25 analogs out of 8.
There you go. That makes more. Now the people will understand it.
Okay, 6.25. 6.37 analogs. Yeah, so go watch it if you haven't. The new film. Find it on Netflix.
Yeah, I've seen Netflix. It's nice.
Yeah, Netflix is good.
Yeah.
Thanks for your time today, JJ.
Thanks for having me here. I like this chair. I think I'm gonna always sit in this chair.
Yeah.
Well, maybe tomorrow I'll try that chair.
All right. At this point, we are canceling the podcast.
Oh.